What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Ride Dad channel, or welcome if you are new. Either way, very glad to have you. We're adjusting a chain kit today. I'm going to be adjusting my chain kit from Speed Kings on my 2020 Harley Davidson Lowrider S. However, this is going to apply, the majority of steps is going to apply to any bike with a chain. The same steps are going to be for my Honda Grom in the back, and these two bikes are extremely different. But let's roll the intro. We'll bring you closer to the chain, and I'll explain what you're going to have to do.
Riding down a YouTube channel, it's the riding down a YouTube channel, it's the riding down a YouTube channel, it's the riding down a thing that you found.
All right, if you like that intro, go ahead and please hit that thumbs up button for me. I really would appreciate it. First of all, it's Florida, it's hot season, which means it's pretty much hat season for the majority of the rest of my videos until it gets cooler again, because the sweat just pours down my face. It looks crappy, it feels crappy, so whatever. All right, chain kits, they all need to be adjusted. Every chain kit slash, like the chain kit from Speed Kings, they specifically told me about an inch of slack. So in addition to the slack of a chain kit that you're gonna have to adjust, you're also gonna have to make sure that that chain tracks evenly within your rear sprocket. If this is foreign languages to you, and you try to do your own maintenance on your bike, or you have a new chain kit maybe or something like that, don't worry, because I'm gonna explain everything I'm talking about right in a few seconds. So yeah, the process for the majority of this is gonna be the same, whether you ride a Harley with a chain kit, or you ride a Honda Grom, or you ride a FC07, or an MT09, or an R1, or a Ninja, or a Gixxer, if you're one of those Gixxer boys. Everything is going to be the same, at least that I'm going to talk about. So a jack stand, or a swing arm stand, or a rear spool stand, whatever the case may be, is going to make the job a million times easier. It can be done with that one, but it's not really easy to do that without it. So yeah, you're going to need to make sure the rear wheel is off of the ground somehow. So after that is done, you're going to make sure that your rear axle is loosened. You don't have to take it completely apart, but loosened. The next part you guys are going to need to move over here for, because we're going to make sure that the chain tracks even right in the middle of your rear sprocket. First, that is going to need to be done before you determine the chain slack, because the chain slack is going to go off of that. And mine is a little bit off, probably because I rushed through doing it in the beginning. It's not terrible, but it's a little bit off. So I'm going to show you guys how to fix it. Let's come over here. We'll fix it together. All right, so this gear on the back of the wheel, that is called your rear sprocket. Rear because it's in the back, sprocket because it's a sprocket. All right, this is your chain, which obviously you'll see mine I need to clean up. Part of this is that residual crap that's on the chain when you first get them. All that wax is super hard to get off, and it accumulates dirt pretty quick. I've cleaned this a couple times within a couple hundred miles, and it's getting a lot better. But today is going to be a really good deep clean and wipe away, and that should help a lot also. But you'll see, hopefully it comes across in the camera, that the sprocket teeth, ideally you want to be right in the middle of the actual chain, which is about right there. However, mine was tracking that way. So an easy way to do it, push your chain to where it's in the middle, and then spin your wheel the direction that it would be traveling in forward. Get a couple good rotations going on in there. And then after you do that, then you're gonna wanna see where the gear is, where the teeth from that rear sprocket land on that chain naturally. You'll see mine drifted back over to the left, which means I need to adjust my chain tensioning screws on the rear axle adjusters, whatever you want to call them. I've seen them called both, but it means I need to adjust them right until that gear hits dead center. I'm sorry, the teeth of the gear hit dead center of that chain. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'll bring you guys back after I do that, because it's going to be different for every bike. So first of all, make sure that those teeth are right in the middle. Next step, we'll do in a second. All right, once you make sure that your rear sprocket and your chain tracks dead center, which by the way, the reason you do that, one, it's unnecessary wear and tear, and your wheel is gonna be off center as far as, you know, its rotating axis, but the other main reason is because your rear sprocket will wear out way quicker, and it'll wind up being needed to be replaced. So yeah, don't do that, make sure it tracks straight. So now, once it tracks straight, this is where you're gonna need a caliper. In my situation, a ruler, because Speed Kings made it pretty easy, or a chain tensioner. I think it's called like a a checker or whatever, but I'll try to find a link and I'll put it up, or a picture or whatever. It'll make things really easy too. However, I'm going to use a ruler because Speed King says an inch. On my Grom, because of the positioning, I wind up using a micrometer. And I believe I said caliper in the beginning, but I was wrong. I meant micrometer. So anyway, yes, Speed King recommends 1 inch of chain slack. So the way you're going to find this out, and I'm going to try to do it without screwing up my camera angle, is you'll have to start, and this goes for all chains, just whatever I got a nice bendy cheapo ruler here that I keep in the garage, but you'll find about the middle of the chainish between your front and rear sprocket area, and then you'll put the ruler pretty much where the chain starts and just push up on it. And you'll see I have a little under an inch. So I'm going to have to adjust this a little bit to push the axle back in towards the bike. However, you might have to do the opposite. Whatever your chain guard, a lot of times the chain guards will have a little sticker right on here. I know my Grom does, that tells you exactly what your chain tension should be. But if you don't know, if you can't find out for some reason, I can't imagine a situation where you couldn't find out, but whatever, if you can't, a good rule of thumb is just to make sure that there's enough slack to move it a little bit, but not enough that it's taut the whole time. There needs to be some slack on these chains. There's a lot of torque going on. If they are too tight, it puts way too much stress, and that's when bad things happen. Also when they are too loose. So once you get everything adjusted correctly, go ahead and tighten everything back up to torque specs, and you're all said and done. I will say, as a kind of a bonus tip, while your rear wheel is off the ground and elevated and free to spin, I forgot to also, it's common sense, but just in case, make sure your bike is out of gear, in neutral. So, all right, so yeah, when your bike is lifted, for the rear wheel is lifted out, this is the perfect time to do some chain maintenance. I am going to scrub the absolute hell out of this chain with a brush. And for those of you wondering what kind of chain maintenance products I use, I have for when I back in the day when I had a chain, I use this as well. And now I use this on both my Harley and my Grom. I use this chain lube for the road because they have a dirt, like an off-road blend as well, from Motovlog. And I use its sister chain cleaner, also from Motovlog. These are fairly cheap. I believe I get them off Revzilla, but Amazon I'm sure has them. Your local motorcycle shop will probably have them as well. I've had really good luck with the chain lube, or the chain wax, or no, sorry, it is lube. I've had really good luck with this lube because it doesn't spin off at all, and it sticks really good. It's clear, it doesn't leave like a white mess like some of them do. It comes with this little pin nozzle, but it also comes with this extended straw nozzle. Like back in the day, you know, if your dad was doing some maintenance on something for some WD-40, he would take a coffee stir or a coffee straw and put it up in there, and now everything is starting to come with it because our dads were smarter than every manufacturer back in the day. But yeah, and there's a little spot to hold it so you don't have to worry about it getting everywhere. And then I just use your run-of-the-mill $4 or $5, however much it was, typical chain brush that just has the brushes on all 3 angles so you can get the whole chain when you're doing it. All right, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully I taught you something, if it's something that you needed to know, or hopefully I just entertained you for a few minutes. If you're wondering why there is a blanket, or a towel rather, on the tank of my bike, I actually recently just did a riser swap out for this bike, and with that, so I was protecting the tank, but then I also left it up because I did some new grips, and just in case any glue was to seep out or whatever, I wanted to make sure any of that super gluey crap did not get on my tank. That is all for another video to come. I didn't quite do a bar swap out. The bars are still stocked, just different risers, so it wasn't that in depth, so I'm not gonna do like an install video on it. I will do a video showing what I did, why I did it, and how I like it, and you know, how it compares to my height and everything, because that is super important for people trying to pick bars. So yeah, chain is all done. I actually have to clean it right after this video. Hopefully you guys are maintaining your chains, because it is very dangerous if you do not, and it'll cost you a ton of time and money in the end if you don't maintain your chains and make sure that everything is set up properly with them. In the description of every video, I have links to my merchandise. This is not it, this is Moon's. I love their stuff. Their products and their shirts, phenomenal. They're the best, most comfortable fitting shirts I've ever had in my life. I have a medium for when I want to look all tough And then I got this nice comfortable one. I'm gonna go for a ride in a little bit, test out some new stuff I got going on. But yeah, their stuff is great. They don't pay me. Everybody knows me knows I'm just a super big fan of Moons. But yeah, I got my own merch, a bunch of stuff, shirts. You can get a fanny pack. I believe you can still get a pillow. I don't remember if I took it off, but there's 2 different collections over there. The playlist for the build series for this Lowrider S and the Grom behind you guys, the playlist is always linked in every description, as well as all the editing software and everything I use. Please make sure you check out my Instagram as well. If you got one, head over there, send me a DM or something, and let me know that you're there from YouTube. I converse with several of you daily. The motorcycle community from YouTube, Instagram is awesome. I love talking to all you guys. I appreciate all the interactions and feedback on not only the videos, but the Instagram and stuff. You guys are all awesome. I appreciate every single one of you so much. Thank you for subscribing. If you're not subscribed, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Please like this video if you did not already like it. Check out any of the other videos I have in the description or in my channel or my playlist on my channel. Make sure you click one of the videos that I got going on the screen right now. And until the next time, guys, ride safe, have fun. Dad, out.